Okay, my musical friends. Feeling the love, feeling the goodness, feeling the music, feeling the sunshine, feeling all this wonderful magic of this park. You know, the music's such a big part of our lives, isn't it? That's why we're all here. And again, as we make friends over the years of gathering up here at this special place, you're a big opportunity to help the local people buy a raffle ticket for Live Oak Music and Arts Foundation. But by yourself, treat yourself, take care of yourselves. And with the big part of the medicine for the goodness in our lives is this next performer up here. Certainly one of the more magical ones. Welcome, Verlon Thompson.
Goodbye note. By sundown I left Kingston with my guitar and my coat. I hitchhiked all the way down to Memphis, got a room at the YMCA. For the next 2 weeks I went home in nightclubs looking for a place to play. I thought my pickings gonna set them on fire, but nobody wanted to hire a little guitar man. Well, I nearly got starved to death down in Memphis. I run out of money and love. I got me a ride on an overloaded poultry truck. I hitched on down to Panama City, started checking out some of them all-night beers. Hoping I could make myself $1 and buy myself a few beers. I got the same old story at them all-night beers. There ain't no room around here for a guitar man. So I slept in a hobo jungle. I roamed 1,000 miles of track till I found myself in Mobile, Alabama, at a club they called Big Jack. A little four-piece band was jamming. I got my guitar and I sat in. I showed them what a band would sound like with a swinging little guitar man. I played. And then I played. So if you ever take a trip down to the ocean, find yourself down around Mobile, come on out to a place called Jack's if you got a little time to kill. And just follow that crowd of people, you'll find yourself out on his dance floor, dancing to the finest little five-piece group up and down the Gulf of Mexico. And guess who's leading that five-piece band? Wouldn't you know it's that swinging little guitar man? Yeah, guess who's leading that five-piece band? Wouldn't you know? Yeah, wouldn't you know? Wouldn't you know it's that swinging little guitar man? Oh man, thank y'all for being here. So many beautiful, friendly, sweet faces and hearts and visions from my past just popping up everywhere in the crowd. These beautiful memories, and it can't get no better than that. Right off the top, before I even got on the stage, it was perfect. Well, before we get too damn happy and excited here, let me bring you down. I just want to say a few words about some of the folks that we've lost over the past few months since I was last here. I try to do it at least in one of my sets every time I come down. kind of pay tribute to folks I admire and folks I know y'all admire and folks that have had an impact on our lives musically. I was sitting with a friend of mine from Scotland when the news came in that her friend Burt Bacharach had died. I know y'all probably have heard that name, and I know you've probably heard a million of his songs, and you don't even realize it when you're hearing them. It's not the kind of stuff I normally do, but this is the sign of a masterful songwriter is that anybody can do those songs. They're so good. You can't mess them. I remember Guy Clark said one time, I believe it was, well, I won't say her name, but a young up-and-coming female artist walked up to him one day. We were in New York City, and she came up. She said, "Oh, Guy Clark, I'm so happy to see you. I just recorded a brand new record, and I recorded one of your songs, and I'm just so happy. I hope I didn't mess it up." And Guy Clark said, "Girl, you can't fuck up one of my songs." That's what I'm talking about. Now, what do you get when you fall in love? You get enough pins to burst your bubble. And after you, no. What do you get? You can't fucking... No, Burt never said that. Burt, I'm going to try to sing one of your songs at the festival. Don't, Verlon. What do you get when you fall in love? You get enough pins to burst your bubble. And after you do, that's what you get for all your trouble. And I never fall in love again. What do you get when you kiss a girl? You get enough germs to catch pneumonia. And after you do, she'll never phone you. And I never fall in love again. Don't ask me what it's all about. Hell, I've been there, and I'm glad I'm out of those chains that bind you. That is why I'm here to remind you. What do you get when you fall in love? You only get lies and pain and sorrow. So for at least until tomorrow, I will never fall in love again. No, I will never fall in love again. I mean, seriously, that's what we call in the business an evergreen song, because it's like an evergreen tree. It never dies, and it never gets old, and it never goes bad. So that's the goal of all of us songwriters. We're always trying to write that evergreen, you know. And here's another one. I got to meet this guy. This is a Canadian guy. There's so much great talent in Canada. But back in the 90s, I got to record a whole album with Ian Tyson. Wonderful Canadian cowboy kind of folk singing guy. And I got to sing harmonies on all these songs on that whole record, and it was just a thrill, one of the thrills of my life. And you may say, Ian Tyson, I'm not sure I remember that name. You'll remember his songs. 4 strong winds that blow lonely, and 7 seas that run high. All those things that don't change, come what may. Yeah, the good times are all gone. It's time for moving on. And I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. I think I'll go out to Alberta. The weather's good there in the fall. I got some friends that I could go working for. And I wish you'd change your mind. Maybe if I ask you one more time. But we've been through this 100 times before. 4 strong winds that blow lonely, and 7 seas that run dry. All those things that don't change, come what may. Now the good times are all gone, and it's time for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. And if I get there before the snow flies, and if things are looking good, you could join me if I send you down the fair. Oh, but by then it would be winter, not that much for you to do. And the wind, it sure blows cold way out there. 4 strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high. All those things that don't change, come what may. But the good times are all gone, and it's time for moving on. And I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. So Burt Bacharach, Ian Tyson, and one that hit me pretty hard. Well, all of them hit me hard, but an old boy that was sort of part of the soundtrack of my teenage years back in the 70s, David Crosby. That was a tough one. I thought I don't know if I can do a David Crosby song, but this was one that he. Well, this was pretty much his song. Well, I came upon a child of God. He was walking along the road. I asked him, where are you going? This he told me. He said, I'm going down to Yasgur's farm. I'm gonna join in a rock and roll band. I'm gonna get back to the land. I'm gonna set my soul free. We are stardust. We are golden. And we got to get ourselves back to the garden. I said, man, could I walk with you? I'm just trying to lose this smoke, and I feel like I'm just a cog there's something burning. Now maybe it's the time of year, maybe it's the time of man, but I don't know where I am, and life is supposed to be for learning. We are stardust, we are golden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. Where's Stephen Stills when you need him? We are stardust, we are golden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. By the time I got to Woodstock, we were 500,000 strong, and everywhere there was a song and a celebration. And I dreamed that I saw those bomber jet planes riding shotgun in the sky, turning into butterflies up above our nation. We are stardust, y'all. We are golden, and we got to get ourselves back to the garden. We got to get ourselves back to the garden. Thank you. Oh, man. Yeah, I just did it about 3 hours ago. I could do it. It might be better this time. Should I tell him the story? I had a buddy who lived in Nashville, had a girlfriend in Asheville, and every weekend he would get in his little 65 Chevy pickup and drive that thing top speed to get to that gal over in Asheville up on Black Mountain. Then come Sunday night, he'd turn it back around and head back to Nashville and be back there. So he was telling me, man, I'm wearing my truck out. I'm replacing everything on it. I said, well, if you'd slow down on your Asheville turnaround rendezvous there, your truck might hold up a little better. But he decided the girl was worth it. Sadly, yeah, you know the rest of the story. I'll put it this way, he still got the truck. I've been burning up the blacktop, I've been wearing out these tires. I got a rebuilt carburetor, man, I got brand new spark plug wires. I've been a clutching and a braking up these hills and down. Her good love keeps me making the Asheville turnaround. I've been working like the Dickens, trying to make a living, just waiting for the week to end. I try to pay attention, but it's hard to keep from thinking about being in her arms again. There ain't a woman finer than the one in Carolina at the top of Black Mountain Road. Friday comes around, I pour some coffee down, and buddy, I'm good to go. I'll be burning up the blacktop, I'll be wearing out these tires. I got a rebuilt carburetor, I got brand new spark plug wires. I've been crunching and breaking up these hills and down. Her good love keeps me making the Asheville turnaround. Is this how you remembered it? He said 304.5 miles one way puts me on her front porch step. I know what I got coming, kissing and a hugging about as good as any man can get. For 2 days, 2 nights, everything's alright, happy as a hardwood tree. Only thing wrong when Sunday comes along, I got to rock on back to Tennessee. I'll be burning up the blacktop, wearing out these tires. I got a rebuilt carburetor, I got a brand new spark plug wire. I've been a-pushing and a-breaking up these hills and down. Her good love keeps me making the Asheville turnaround. Her good love keeps me making the Asheville turnaround. She's the best gal I ever found. That's why I do the Asheville turnaround. I from Nashville over to Asheville, then I turn around, then I come back again. It's the Asheville turnaround. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna save that when I'm doing that. I'm doing that one tomorrow in my Sunday set, and yeah, amen. I want it to be fresh and new. So if you'll come back tomorrow, I'll do it for you especially. Hey, before I forget it, I was going to say, apparently there's somebody here now. There's a feller here, I believe his real name is Dean, but for some reason he goes by Grizzly. It's like, Dean, why'd you change your name? Well, I guess, I'm sure he's got his reasons. Anyway, it's Grizzly. Here's the good part. I believe his last name is Grubbs. Grizzly Grubbs. Hell, I'd like to have that name. Is Grizzly Grubbs here? There he... On the front row, actually, and I believe it's his birthday. Am I correct? Okay, I gotta admit, I'm gonna confess here, Grizzly. You're not what I was expecting. See, that's why you should never like whatever you call that. Don't do it. Whatever I did, don't do it, because, you know, I'm expecting some big old... He's pretty big, but anyway, happy birthday, Grizzly. You got a sweet gal there set you up, brother. Set you up. Yeah, I'm glad I did that before I forgot, because if I go much deeper into this, I won't remember nothing. You know, in 1991, I had a big time recording contract with Capitol Records. Same label the Beatles were on. You believe me and the Beatles, just like that. Me and the Beatles. It lasted for about 6 months, but while I had it, I was just writing songs. I kept right on writing songs, and you know, luckily I met Guy Clark because I was about to fall into that big major record label cesspool where you get a manager and you get a bus and a payroll, and you get a hairstylist. And Guy Clark pulled me aside. He saw it all happening, and he said, "Verlon, you don't need a band, first of all. You don't need a bus." And he said, "You damn sure don't need a hairstylist." He said, "What you need is a satchel full of good songs." Now, here's my question to y'all. Who says satchel? Nobody says satchel, but Guy Clark, that's what he told me. He said, if you got a satchel full of good songs, you can go anywhere in the world. They'll come listen to you. There's little rooms over there in Europe, Asia, Canada. It doesn't matter. You might even go down there to the Suwannee River, and some folks might gather around down there under the shade tree and listen to you. So anyway, he saved me from all that. But I was real close because they gave me a big signing bonus. And I'd never had that much money in my hand, ever. And I immediately blew it all. I went and paid cash for a new Ford Explorer. I bought a fancy leather jacket. And of course, when you got a new Ford Explorer and a leather jacket, girls automatically just show up. So I had me a new girlfriend, a new car, new wheels, a new leather jacket, new girlfriend. And right about that same time, an old boy a Georgia boy by the name of T. Graham Browne recorded one of my songs. And they were playing it on the radio. And I remember I was driving with my new girlfriend in my new car, wearing my new jacket. And we were in Florida. And I can't remember exactly where it was, but I remember it was a long bridge. One of those long, never-ending bridges. And we were, might have been. But I was, whatever it was, I was right in the middle of it, and my song came on the radio. T. Graham Browne, he's like a blue-eyed soul singer, and he started singing my song. And I pulled over and called my mama, and I said, "Mama, it don't get no better than this." I hadn't done this song in a long time. I'm going to try to do it, but what I'm trying to get across to you is the thrill that went through my body, because it was one of those rare moments in your life where everything was clicking, you know. All cylinders were just popping. And anyway, thanks for letting me get that off my chest. I don't know if I can do it justice, but when y'all go home, do yourself a favor and look up the T. Graham Browne version of this song called Moon Shadow Road. Get your girl and snuggle her over there on that bench seat in your old pickup truck. Put your arm around her and listen to this song. All day Friday, I'd be daydreaming of borrowing my old man's Catalina and picking up my baby just as the sun went down. We'd look in the paper to see what was showing, in case her daddy asked us where we were going. And then we'd head on out to the outskirts of town, a little place that we found out on Moon Shadow Road, where we all used to go. Part of growing up was learning about love by the light of the radio. Not a care in the world, just a boy and a girl. We found out all we need to know out on Moon Shadow Road. Just an old dirt road out in the middle of nowhere, but there's so much that I came to know there, and I'll always remember those sweet summer nights. They felt so right out on Moon Shadow Road, where we all used to go. Yeah, part of growing up was learning about love by the light of the radio. Not a care in the world, just a boy and a pretty girl. We found out all we need to know out on Moon Shadow Road. We found out everything we thought we needed to know out on Moon Shadow Road. This is the short version. I forgot the other version. Anyway, it's the thrill that I was trying to get across to you, you know. So I'm driving through Oklahoma City one day, which is close to where I'm from. I'm sitting at a stoplight and an old beat-up truck pulls up beside me, and in the bed of this truck, the old boy has a welding rig and a Fender amplifier strapped in there side by side in the bed of his pickup. I sat there looking over at him and I thought, I know what this guy's doing. He's going to go to the job site and he's going to work all day. And as soon as he gets off work, he's just going to maybe put on a fresh shirt and he's going down to the club and he's going to play till about 3 in the morning. And he's got that old Fender amp strapped right there in the back of the pickup. He's ready to go. And before the light even turned green, I started thinking, wait a minute. He's headed for the gig with a Fender amp and a welding rig. That rhymes. It could be a song. Well, he's headed for the gig with a Fender amp and a welding rig in the bed of a beat-up pickup truck. He's covered in dirt and he's covered up in red cattle dirt. But when he puts on a hat and embroidered shirt and gets a beer in his belly and straps on his telly, he'll hit that stage a smiling. And she's hemming up her skirt just a little bit shorter. What does it hurt when you're waiting them tables and tending the bar? It's all about getting another tip in the jar and paying off the trailer. Not to mention there's a new guy playing guitar. He's a pipeline welder, but he looks like a star, and he winked at me last Friday. You with me so far now? Well, he sure put on a show. He came back twice for a standing O, and then he told him he loved him and he said good night and treat that pretty little waitress right. Then everyone was gone, and right there at the bar, then everyone was gone. And she poured him a beer and a shot of Patron, and right there at the bar, he grabbed his guitar and he wrote a little song about her. And she said, oh my, it couldn't get any better if I'd written a script. He's writing me songs and I'm raking in tips, and it wouldn't be long till there's kissing on the lips. And she paid off the trailer. Yeah, who knows what the future might hold. As a matter of fact, a few nights ago, they did it on the barroom table. Oh! Now one lucky break, she always told him that's all it's gonna take. And she was standing right there when the call came in. It was Brooks and Dunn, and they's wanting him for 7 months out in Vegas. It could be more, they couldn't say for sure, but if it all works out, they said we'll talk about maybe keeping him even longer. And she said, damn you, Brooks and Dunn, you boot-scooting bastards, now look what you done. He bought a new truck and he's living it up. He bought a house out in the desert, and she flies out there to see him, and he acts like he don't even know her that well. He tells her that he will, but she knows damn well they won't be raising this kid together. Yeah, he tells her he will, but she knows damn well they won't be raising this kid together. That's a hell of a story now. Not a pretty ending either. I'm sorry, I usually try to wrap a pretty little bow around the end of my song, but that one just, I didn't see it coming that way.
Come on, Verlon, we're here for you, brother.
Okay, thank you. Let me see. What was that? White Sox? What? Oh, the Laurie White song? Woo. Let's see. Yeah, all right.
I was thinking about hitchhiking.
I do love that. You call it the Laurie White song. It was a song of mine that Laurie did, and she did it so beautifully. It's one of those things where after you hear her do it, you feel like you shouldn't even attempt it anymore. It's just so damn good. It's kind of sad. I'll try a little of it. It's I wrote it after I watched a movie. I think it was a movie that Robin Williams was in, but he didn't play a funny guy. He played a crazy guy that lived out on the street, and he was homeless, and he was kind of, everybody thought he was out of his mind, but what was going on is that his dear wife taking her own life. Yeah, the Fisher King, that's it. Yeah, and he just wanders around kind of aimlessly because he never could really get past that. And I wish it had that rhythm, but it's not in that key either. Let me try this. Well, I'm walking down this empty street. I don't know where I am or where I'm going. I keep turning corners to keep the pain that follows me confused. And I'm talking to myself so I don't hear her voice on every wind that's blowing. And if I'm not already crazy, my mind is all that I have left to lose. Out here in the darkness, the shadows come to light. How long can I balance on the sharp edge of the night? Well, I'm walking down this empty street. I don't know where I am, where I'm going. I keep turning corners to keep the pain that follows me confused. And I'm talking to myself so I don't hear her voice on every wind that's blowing. And if I'm not already crazy, my mind is all that I have left to lose. If I'm not already crazy, my mind is all that I have left to lose. Thank you for asking for that. Again, that's about half of that song. I don't remember the rest of it. It's so cotton picking sad. I can't hardly bring myself to do it. Oh yeah, I heard one there that I said I'd do that. I'm trying out this new amp up here. Does this sound all right to y'all? You hearing okay? Well, I was all caught up with myself on the highway at night. I was driving like a bat out of hell when I beheld an amazing sight. It was a lonely apparition by the roadside standing there. He had his thumb out in the wilderness and a halo in his hair. He said, give me a ride to heaven, boy, and I'll show you paradise. He said, give me a ride to heaven, son, now my name is Jesus Christ. Well, I didn't know quite what to do, so I jammed her down in gear. I kind of kicked my seat I kind of kicked my feet beneath the seat. I was trying to hide the beer. Now he just grinned and he said, my friend, I know you might think it's odd, but you got nothing to fear about drinking a beer if you share it with the Son of God. Yeah, he said, give me a ride to heaven, son, and I will show you paradise. Give me a ride to heaven, Lord, my name is Jesus Christ. in his baby blues, so I stomped her on the floor. I said, now I don't know how to get there, man. You see, I ain't never been before. He said, it's a hard place to find, my son, but I'm gonna give you a little clue. He said, it ain't somewhere up in the air, it's sitting right here inside of you. Oh, but then right in the middle of that perfect smile from his robes, he pulled a gun. And he stuck it up beside my head and said, how's this for kingdom come? Well, I pulled off scared and I heard him say, as he left me beneath the stars, he said, the Lord moves in mysterious ways, my son, and tonight he's gonna use your car. Well, he said, give me a ride to heaven, boy, I'm gonna show you paradise. Give me a ride to heaven, son, my name is Jesus Christ. Said, give me a ride to heaven, boy, and I'll show you paradise. Give me a ride to heaven, son, my name is Jesus Christ. Once I was a Christian and I lived upon this earth, and then I died and went to heaven where I got my second birth. And I came back as an acorn and I grew to be a tree, and I made a mighty shade when the sun came down on me. In one life I was an outlaw, I lived up in the hills, and I'd run the alcohol to the buyers from the stills. At 100 miles an hour on the downhill mountain road, I just turned into a white dove and I let go of my load. And the last time I came through here, I was a summer wind, and I whispered on your wheat fields and I called a cool rain in. And then I carried all your laughter and your sweet old fiddle tunes. I carried them right up through the rafter and sang them to the harvest moon. Once I was a singer, and music was my church. Oh, and I put myself through hell, trying to write the perfect verse. So I came back as a chorus, 'cause that's the best part of the song. 'Cause all your friends remember, and they all sing along. Like the Christian, like the outlaw, and like that summer wind. And like a singer to the chorus, I will come back again. Like a singer to the chorus, I will come back again. Now, Lord, if I die in this city, I pray my soul you will save. Carry me back to the mountain and bury me in a hillbilly grave. Bury me in a hillbilly grave. Well, I never wanted to leave here. My roots were deep and strong, but it makes no sense to be where all good hope is gone. Where all good hope is gone. The tall buildings make long shadows, and they hide a sinner well. But hiding is not living, y'all. And I've been living hell. Oh, I've been living hell. So Lord, if I die in this city, I pray my soul you will save. Carry me back to my mountains, bury me in a hillbilly grave. Bury me in a hillbilly grave. Wondered about the things that might have been, but looking back is useless. You can't go back again. Oh, what's done is done, my friend. But if I had it all to do over, I think I'd use a knife instead. That cold dark blade is silent, but they'd still be just as dead. Oh, they'd still be just as dead. Oh Lord, if I die in this city, I pray my soul you will save. Carry me back to the mountains, bury me in a hillbilly grave. 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 That's another one that don't have a pretty ending, does it? I'm going to blame that on Frank Serio, because I wrote that with him and Sue Cunningham, and I was like, hey, let's put a happy bow around it, wrap it up all nice, and give it a positive twist at the end. And they're like, no, he killed him. He's going to live in sorrow the rest of his life. I said, okay. Now, that's just the way it came out. Just felt kind of like it ought to be like one of those old-timey classic murder ballads, you know. Looks like I'm about to come to the end of the ride here, y'all. Give us what? Food?
We're hungry.
Is that a hint? Is that a song title? Moonshine. I just did Moonshine. You're the same guy asked for a Asheville turnaround. Oh, that's all right, man. It all runs together. I hear you. Oh, let me see. What'd be good? Oh, you know what? I need to practice on this anyway. What's that? Oh, I can't remember that. You kidding me? I sort of, what do they call it? I disrespected Bob Dylan this morning. In my earlier set. I know he ain't here, but Bob Dylan's got people everywhere. So I'm trying to dig out of my hole. She's got everything she needs. She's an artist. She don't look back. She's got everything she needs. She's an artist and she don't look back. She can take the dark out of the nighttime. She can paint the daytime black. She never stumbles. She's got no place to fall. No, she never stumbles. She's got no place to fall. She's a nobody's child and the law can't touch her at all. Yeah, but she belongs to me. Now you might be sitting there going, I never heard that part. Once again, I thought, Bob, you call this song, it's called She Belongs to Me. And not once in the entire song does he ever say, she belongs to me. And I thought, well, Bob, I'm going to fix this up for you. So I just added that little part in the middle of it. I go, now she belongs to me. It's kind of like that old boy that goes, yeah, you know, she ain't perfect, but by God, she's mine. I think that's what he's trying to say here. Well, you start out standing, swear you'll steal her anything she needs. Yeah, you start out standing and you swear you'll steal her anything she needs. And then you wind up staring through her keyhole down upon your knees. Yeah, but she belongs to me. Ain't that better? Come on, Bob. She belongs to me. She She wears an Egyptian ring, and it sparkles every time she speaks. She wears an Egyptian ring, and it sparkles every time she speaks. She's a hypnotist collector, and you ain't nothing but an old walking antique. Yeah, she never stumbles, she's got no place to fall. Oh, she never stumbles, she's got no place to fall. She ain't nobody's child, and the law can't touch her at all. Yeah, she never stumbles, she's got no place to fall. Sing it with me. Yeah, she never stumbles, she's got no place to fall. She ain't nobody's child, and the law can't touch her at all. But she belongs to me, y'all. She belongs to me. Yeah, we could make a bluegrass song out of it. She belongs to me. Yeah, she belongs to me. Well, thank y'all for putting up with my silliness. I appreciate you. You're always so nice about this. This porch stage set of mine is becoming, I don't know what you'd call it. It's becoming the set where y'all don't know what I'm going to do, and I sure as hell don't know what I'm going to do. I just show up and we see what happens. But you're always so kind about it. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you tomorrow. I'm going to be playing with John Mailander over on the amphitheater stage about 2-something there in the afternoon. I hope you'll come and see it. It's going to be good. We're going to have fun. She belongs to me. Hey, thank y'all. Sincerely. I appreciate it. Good to see all, even my friends. Happy birthday, Grizzly.